Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Knicks fans of all ages, welcome to the Pod Couple, where we come to you every Thursday, when there's not a Knicks game, but every Thursday, to bring you dope content to where we talk about our beloved New York Knicks. We get your thoughts, opinions, and we kind of delve into that. So what I would tell you now, if you're not sitting down, sit down, strap up, and prepare yourself for a great show. Let's get it.
Hey, what's going on, Knicks fans? It's your boy Cornerstone Kev, aka Star Child, aka Shazam. Boy, I forgot who I was at first, but as my co-host, Mr. Sergeant G-Man for Life, has said, we are the Pod Couple, the number one podcast of the Blorange Tears network. And we just want to thank you so much for coming out here and supporting us. If you haven't done it already, please hit that hit the smash button, the thumbs up button.
The like button, kid. That's the like button. Say
yeah,
like.
the like button. See, that's why I have him here, everyone, so that he can tell me, what I'm saying wrong. Hit that likes button for your boys. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We try to bring you dope content, and we'd like to just have fun. Like, I'm going to have fun tonight because I was going to go nuclear, but someone messed up my my computer stuff so that I couldn't really do that. So I'm going to try to be a little bit nicer than what I've been, but I'm not going to be nice too much because, as my counterpart, we are in, I don't want to say hell, but it's close to it. Ain't that right, Mr. G-Man for Life?
We got some things to talk about for sure. We definitely got some things to talk about. We're gonna get into it for sure. So I would say this: in the last the past 3 to 4 games that we've experienced, there are a myriad of opinions out there, and I respect those opinions, right? But what I'm not gonna abide by is opinions without facts, right? So you can feel a certain way because I woke up today and it was cloudy outside. My car wouldn't start. Now my car wouldn't start because it's cloudy outside. That's ludicrous. We're not going into those type of things, right? So I'm all about having a discussion about what we feel and what's going on. So for sure, so I got one request, Kev. I have to see the mug, right? The mug of one said Mr. Uncle Freezy. I got to see that mug, right? So once I see that mug, I know we got it going on. So I'm going to do my I Dream of Jeannie thing. So young people don't know who I Dream of Jeannie is. They have no clue. So when you get to the and you like, yeah, Freezy's supposed to pop up. But I ain't got it going on like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen. If anyone was born past the 90s, yeah, they wouldn't know what we were talking about. No, you know what? I'm gonna give the 90s a little bit of credit. It was born in the 2000s. They don't know what we're talking about.
That's a past reference. So I guess I will start here, Kev. So tell me, just based off of what we've seen transpire, I'm not gonna take you that far back. I'm gonna say the last 2 games. And again, I would tell you specifically what games I'm referencing. I'm gonna talk about the Oklahoma Thunder game, Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Brooklyn game that we had last night. So small sample size, right? But in my mind, there were a lot of similarities in those games, right? So just give me high level. What do you feel about where the franchise is currently today, right now?
Oh, right now, if you took away what we did last year, we're still the same way. Dysfunctional, disinteresting, and non-existent.
Okay, so I agree, but I think that what we face is a little bit more in depth than just the surface things that we see when we tune in to watch the team play, right? No, all Knicks fans have a different level of basketball acumen, right?
Mhm.
So you could be you can have coaching experience, you can
Yeah,
have experience as a talent scout, and you
right.
can just be that down and gritty player that understands, metal, recognizes metal, and or sharpens metal. So we're all going to be better after all if I'm playing against you, right? There's
Right.
totally different levels of what we're talking about. I say all that to say this: at some point, we're going to have to establish organizationally a foundation for this organization, right? Not only that, but I would ask this of Knicks fans. Now we again, just like the players and the perspectives you have when you watch the game,
Mm-hmm.
everyone looks at it from a different perspective. But we need to establish a foundation before we start throwing out all these random opinions, right?
Right.
I have no problem. I have no problem with opinions. I think my opinion is probably the biggest in the Knicks verse, but that's just me being me, right? Being G Man.
Well, you have a unique way of putting things. What I like is how when you're giving your take on a Knicks situation, you use it. You give examples of everyday life. Working
Yeah.
on the job. That's your uniqueness. And I hate to say this, I can't believe
Give it to me, Kev. Give it to me, Kev. Come on, Kev. Give it to
I
me. Give
I
it to me,
like
Kev.
it. I like it. I like it. I can relate to it. I can
I'm
relate.
gonna need that timestamp. I'm gonna need that timestamp because at some point,
Yeah,
Kev,
at
get
7
what you
o'clock. 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7 o'clock. February 17th. Jeez. Okay.
see.
And Valentine's Day ended.
It did, but you still showing me love, baby. You still showing me love. I'm like, hey,
That's that arch. You know how you have a conscience, you have an archangel, and you have a devil. I guess he's back.
Yo,
this is what happens when I do that. I dream with Genie, and hey, ladies and gentlemen,
what's good?
girls,
You know why he didn't appear? You know why he didn't appear? Because
Why?
I Dream of Jeannie was a beauty. She was a I forget her name offhand, but she was a beauty. It's a shame because I got to meet her. You was crockery.
What Cam? What are you trying to say? So first of all, if I go through the movement and do the move, right? The move, regardless of what everything else is supposed to do, the product
All right.
you're looking for.
Okay. All right. I'll give one thing, and I'll give one thing. I'll give one thing. Let me give it crazy. You know what's the difference between her and you? She didn't have no beard. Okay, Freezy, go ahead.
Right. Hey. So did you guys get a chance to throw your introductory salvos?
Yeah, we did.
Did you
did.
get
did.
Did you get a chance
Yes,
to do your thought? Okay. All right. All right.
Did that.
I was just wanting to do that before I set Nick's universe on fire by saying this to Cam.
I got a box of matches. Not those matches that you get from the drugstore, but those matches that you get from the hardware store.
Only you can prevent forest fires. Only you. G-Man might be too young for that. He might not understand.
G-Man got it. Anybody else that's that was born in, I'll say 2000 on, they wouldn't know.
No, they wouldn't know nothing about Smokey the Bear.
No, they wouldn't done
You,
nothing.
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, only you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah.
You know,
And
Yeah.
what about the owl that said don't pollute? Remember the owl?
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. All this is Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say this, Kev. I'm gonna say this to Cornerstone Kev, and I know we got like a good 58 minutes. Right? Oh no, we got like a good 60 something minutes, right? Okay. Kev, do you remember the commercial where the Indian was paddling upriver and he
Yes.
slowly
Yes.
and he would see like a little piece of trash here and then a little piece of trash there, and he got so frustrated, and then he paddled all the way up to the city, and he saw the city with all the factories and all the smoke and all the pollution and all the cars and all the smog and all the trash everywhere, and then the one tear came down his eye.
Yes.
Because he knew it was there.
Yes.
That is what it's like right now.
Yes, it is.
Watching the Knicks.
You get an argument from me.
Right, because we saw a little at a time. We saw a little at things a little at a time unfold right in front of our eyes, and we like, nah, that's not going to be a problem. They signed a 6 foot. They signed a 6 foot, 175 pound point guard to run Tibbs's defensive schemes. Nah, that won't be a problem because, you know, his offense will outweigh the defense.
Right.
Hey, Kev, they brought in a dude named Evan to play shooting guard, knowing he a hip rider, right?
That's right.
Right. A dude named Fournier to play the two, right? Knowing he a hip rider, right? It was like, nah, that ain't gonna be. Nerlens Noel, his knee still hurt from the preseason. That ain't gonna be a problem. And it's like Derrick Rose looked like he hobbled already. That ain't gonna be a problem. RJ Barrett struggling, and it was like the accumulation. Remember the dude paddling upstream, like the accumulation, and you like, and then now we finally made it to the city.
Yeah,
and it's a problem, Kev. It's an accumulation of everything, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so the thing I was gonna get at with you is how come we didn't see these signs earlier? Because normally they say where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Yes.
Julian Blum, when they say there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Yeah, I drunk that Kool-Aid, and it was the fruit punch was good. The fruit punch was very good, but that fruit punch runs out, and it ran out quickly. No ton intended for Emmanuel, but it ran out quickly, and I didn't realize our problems were bigger than what they are right now. I honestly, did not realize that. And if anyone says that they recognized it back then, in other words, if they didn't drink the Kool-Aid with me, a lot of them are lying to themselves, because we were all on such on a natural high. We're all on a natural high.
Right.
And I mean, I keep referencing it. When I went to the first game of the season, I had all of the nothing but Knicks crew there. Shout out to to Sim and all of them. We were all there. We saw the double overtime win, and still didn't have a care in the world. We saw this team go down to Orlando and beat the socks off an Orlando team.
Yep.
And then they came back home to face that same Orlando team. Okay, they lost against them. Okay, fine. We can let that go.
It's a blip on the radar. It's a hiccup. It's like in the Indian in the canoe that saw the first piece of trash.
Yes.
Oh, exactly. Some stupid camper must have just left us here. He didn't know there was a city upstream and the stuff was floating back downstream to him. He didn't know that. Yeah. He thought maybe a camper just left it here. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know that he was upstream from Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah. But what I will, yes, absolutely. But what I will say is that I knew it was a problem, started to know that it was a problem when we lost that second game to Orlando. That's when I said, you know what? I don't like where this is going. And now, 50 somewhat games later, towards the All-Star break, we're done. We're done.
When's the last time the season has been over at the All-Star break?
Oh, wow.
It's been a lot for us.
2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago. Yes, 2 years ago. Yes. Yeah. And here's my other thing, G-Man and Uncle Freeze. Why even care about the draft? Because you're going to make the boneheaded move anyway.
You're going to draft another Obi Toppin anyway. It don't matter.
Or Kevin Knox, or Frank Ntilikina.
Or Kevin Knox, or Frank Ntilikina, yeah. Or Jerry and Grant.
Or Jerry and Grant.
Right.
Oh, what about the other guy that was from Van Fleet's school?
Ron Baker.
Well, not Ron, but he
Baker.
wasn't drafted. But I'm talking about Clay Anthony Early.
Anthony Early, yeah.
Am I right? I mean, they're going to do that move. So why am I even paying attention to the draft when we're not going to get the person that we want? I mean, the people that we wanted the one guy was playing for OKC, and we didn't get him.
Trey Mann.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm throwing shots at the Knicks young core, right? Because I just don't, at this point, I am under the impression that they're just not it, right? Like, I think Miles McBride is not it. I think Obi Toppin is not it, right? Jericho Sims ain't it, right? And this is my opinion, and I'm not trying to force it on anybody else, right? But I watch other teams play, and you can't keep their young kids off the floor because they're too good. And our guys, we're like, I wonder why our kids can't get on the floor. Right? I'll give you an example. Even with OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Gary Trent, they can't keep Jonathan Kuminga off the floor. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
With us, I started think about who we start a freaking Evan Fournier. And we can't get Obi on the floor? What the heck? Is that an indictment on the coach? On Fournier? Or do we have to eventually start looking at Obi? Do we eventually have to start looking at Miles McBride and these dudes that can't get on the floor? Because when I hear fans say the coach is dumb, he's just stubborn.
Yes.
He just won't. He just won't play this guy that I like. It makes me think that the fans don't have a clue. Because you don't just fall over backwards into an NBA coaching job. You know, there's only 30 of them.
I'll let G-Man answer this one.
I got you, man.
Hey, listen, I will tell you this. I'm laughing because it's funny. So, Freezy, let me put it this way, right? When you find yourself in a situation that which you have never been.
I mean, not Kuminga, Scotty Barnes. I know him.
Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
So this is where the Knicks nation makes a mistake. We have a tendency to want to compare ourselves to other franchises, right? Now, if the coaching staff was the same, if the philosophy of how people are played were the same, I would be like, okay, that's a fair comparison. But the people that we're talking about it's a totally different atmosphere to where
Mhm.
these other franchises may be in a place to where they are forced to play young guys just to see what they have in order to move their program forward. I will tell you this, and this is where I find fault with our organization.
Kev, he trying to be classy right now, Kev. You see him trying to be classy.
Is that what I'm trying
No,
to do?
he's speaking facts, unfortunately.
I'm
Unfortunately, he's speaking facts.
about to take it to Cadillac level right now. This is about to be Cadillac level. So hide and watch what I'm about to say. A draft was made by entities within the organization. Now, you have to convince that person that's in charge of your lineup and gameplay to insert these people into said lineup. Now, if the orchestrator of that particular effort is not feeling what you're selling, then there's a problem. Hence, the first breakdown in this organization. Because when you talk about someone that you have drafted, how long you leave them on? I understand, that the old additive is, oh, you have to prove yourself in practice. Okay. Miss me with that. Because the same person that's evaluating talent in practice is the same person that's determining whether or not to put these players on the floor to play legit minutes. And we've seen legit minutes play is lacking at this point. So how much emphasis am I going to put on your evaluation of what goes on in practice? Man, miss me with all this right here, right now. Stop it, man. Just stop it. Stop. Now, don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. The players also have skin in the game here. They have skin in the game, but what you can't do when Kev is not having a good game, then I can insert Freezy into the lineup and he picks up where Kev left off. Right? That's how a team is supposed to work. You can't keep giving me the same thing night in and night out and expect for me to swallow that. You take a 23-point lead. No, first 21-point lead. You lose that, we lose the game. 23-point lead, we lose that, we lose the game. And here recently, for those of you that were able to watch, the 28-point lead that we had in the first half. And I knew as soon as the third quarter started and I saw the style of play, I'm like, hey, here we go. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. And as soon as Kev called me, I'm like, see, I told you. I'm not in the business of saying I told you so, but Uncle Freezy, let me explain this to you. I don't care. You can pick. You can put the blindfold on, like when you were a kid and you went out trying to hit the pinata at your 6th birthday.
See when he did that, man. We used to play pin and tail on a donkey.
What that too?
See, that's what I'm saying. The pinata thing is something recent. See, for us, they used to take one of your uncle's sock out the sock drawer and wrap it around your head and spin you around till you was dizzy as hell. And then gave you a sharp object and said stab something.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And you went out there and stabbed your cousin.
Yeah. Then now both of you at the birthday party crying.
Yeah.
I went to at my birthday party, G-Man, because I was seriously stabbed you.
They're just like, yeah.
Yep. See, but at the end of the day, this is where we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Knicks fans of all ages. We don't have a clue what we're doing right now. When I say we, I'm talking franchise.
You've used that plenty of times. You've used that plenty of times.
Listen, there are too many individual ideals about where this team is supposed to go. There's no unity here. Last year, this time, when we saw the huddle break, the mantra was together. I ain't heard that all.
G-Man, that's why that's where I disagree, bro. And because that point that you're making, I think, is a valid point. I just don't think it is the major point.
Okay.
Right. And so what I'm here to tell you is that all this mess was here last year, but Randall played out of his mind. and it covered up a lot of
Without
stuff.
fans. And play without fans.
Well, either way, whatever the reason with the roster was still flawed last year, right? Obi was not getting minutes last year.
That's a fact.
This ain't nothing new, right?
But Freaky,
Frank Ntilikina didn't get minutes last year. Kevin Knox,
Nope.
True.
didn't get minutes last year. Yeah,
I will interject this into your argument, right? And I agree to a certain extent of what you're talking about. Julius Randle was playing a totally different game than what he's playing this year. But I think that the mindset of this team last year, based on the people that we had an identity, which was defense. So whatever we did going out on the court, it was always defensive minded. We don't have that this year.
right.
No.
Without that identity, you have to figure out what we need to do next. Give me just a second.
So Kev, I disagree again. Let me ask you this: who are you more impressed? Are you more impressed with Nerlens Noel's season last season on defense? I mean, or last season, Nerlens Noel's season last year at center, or Mitchell Robinson's season this year at center? Which one are you more impressed with?
Oh God, that's when you put it that way. That's I'm gonna shoot.
Because in theory,
I'm going to pick Mitch's play this year.
Right. And think about this. And in theory, Quentin Grimes has replaced Reggie Bullock. Right?
No.
A defensive win. You don't think so? Okay.
Oh, wait. You know what? Freeze. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You said defensive. Yes, I agree.
Right. His defense this season is coming on strong, right?
Right.
Just like Reggie, but yeah, Reggie Bullock just started the season last year because Reggie Bullock was here for 2 seasons.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If in Quentin Grimes' second season, I'm sure his defense will be a lot better from year 1 to year 2. Next year he'll be better.
Right.
Right. But what I'm saying is
the one thing I like about Quentin Grimes is that he's a little bit more, I want to say, athletic than Reggie Bullock is, because he'll take it to the he'll take it to the hole.
Right.
Quentin Grimes.
Right. Yeah, man. So what I'm saying is not that any of the players are at fault. What I'm saying is the roster was always flawed, and Julius Randle had to play like an MVP candidate, basically, in order for this team to make the playoffs. And we thought that was the standard, but it's not.
No,
but it's not. Because when Randle doesn't play like an MVP, what do you have?
Chaos.
This.
Right, chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah, man. I mean, so you know.
But let me ask you this: you're always saying how the players have to be taking the task as well. When do we start taking the coach to task?
Today.
Y'all been taking the coach to task all year.
But no, but I'm asking you.
What Freeze you got to say don't matter. I'm gonna tell you why it don't matter. Because when we talk about tips, people always have a certain aspect of when you start to hold or try to hold the coach accountable, right? So Tibbs has been the head coach of this basketball team since last year. Now, based on how the people played and what came about through that play, he was lauded for his accomplishments. I give him that. Salute to you. You know, good job. Salute the flag. Move on. But what you failed to do is to recreate that same energy this year. Now, people, you can point at whatever you want to point at where the deficit came in and why we're not able to accomplish whatever we need to accomplish. I may give you some leeway in that, and I may not. But at the end of the day, you're still the head coach of this basketball team.
Yes.
But G-Man, the roster's flawed, though, bro.
Okay. But fine.
But how
No.
How
no,
come?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
If the roster is flawed, then it's up to the head coach to be able to go to the front office and say, my roster is flawed, do something for me. Before the trade deadline.
G-Man, don't do that. G-Man, don't do that.
Before the trade deadline. Listen,
G-Man, don't do that, bro.
It does not take you to the trade deadline to realize to your point, if the roster is flawed,
Kev, he think the front office is they're playing Jenga. He think the front office is up there playing Scrabble and not looking at the season.
Your point is the roster is flawed. So once you identify the roster is flawed, it's like saying when you get in your car in the morning and you go out there, you warm it up, your check engine light's on. So when you drive that car to work and the check engine light's on, you are taking a chance because the car may break down between your job and your house.
Right.
That is right. Absolutely right. When your battery light comes on, you are taking a chance of taking that out, and your car.
Kev, don't do that one. Why would you drive your car and the battery light on? Don't do that. Why would you drive your car and the battery light on? That won't make sense.
I felt like I felt like I was on the Starship Enterprise when manual power was dying out.
Oh my God, y'all killing me tonight. I will say this, gentlemen. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit, right? Understand your point with the roster. I agree from a standpoint that the roster is flawed, but I don't believe that it's flawed from the standpoint that I believe, you haven't said it, but I believe the standpoint that you're looking at the roster from. So in order to evaluate your roster, you have to see significant playing time for people on your roster. As the head coach, you need to figure out where that's going to happen. If you're doing that in practice and you feel like you haven't shown me that you can get with my system that I have established, then I can't put you on the floor at game time, right? But the crazy part about that is that argument holds up as long as nobody's injured or on protocol. As soon as that happens, guess what? I'm about to overlook everything that you've ever done wrong in practice. I'm about to put you on the floor. I'm about to do that.
But G-Man, but would you? Okay, all right. So clearly, you and I have like a philosophy difference because listen, if you're a flawed player on the bench and injuries and protocols happen and you get in the game, guess where you're going to be a flawed player at?
In the game.
In the game.
So
and then you still blame the coach. Well, he shouldn't have put him in there. Nah, man.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Where our paths start to separate is here. Understand and establish what flaw means. In what aspect is this person flawed? Because obviously he was not flawed enough for the team not to draft him or not to pick him up in free agency. That wasn't an issue. Or he wouldn't be on in this organization right now.
You see, that's another place where we disagree. It's like saying everything that you purchased in your life was perfect. You ain't never bought something and then bought it home and then found out you ain't like it.
I have, but guess what I did, Freezy? Guess what I
Took
did?
It back.
You doggone right. As soon as I realized I did not get what I paid for, I took it back to who I bought it from and got my money back.
But the NBA draft don't work like that. You can't take Obi back to the draft.
What? Fine. Well,
you can't take Knox back to the draft.
If you're telling me right now, Obi Toppin was picked number 8 in the draft, right? You had a whole year to work him out. You figured out Obi is not what you need. Trade him. Trade him. Why did you trade him? You had a whole season to figure out how to make a move to get rid of Obi.
Yes,
Why
sir.
did you trade him?
And don't say that. And don't say that first year players can't be traded because we saw Halliburton get traded.
Listen, I'm telling you right
Halliburton's
now.
a second year player.
Yeah, him and Obi both.
That's what I'm saying about He's the same year as freaking
It's Obi. It's
Oh,
Obi.
as Obi. Yeah.
They were in the same draft class, but this is my point. My point is this: if you invest in an entity and that entity is not producing the way that you want he or she to produce, you move on. Move on.
It's easy for Sacramento.
But G-Man, you're okay. So so clearly y'all two want to place all the blame on the coach. Yeah.
No,
Right.
no.
Yeah, and so just hear me out. Just hear me out on this, because here's the thing. Because G-Man just said, if he's not working out, then trade him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you are assuming the trader is competent. You are assuming that the trader is competent. How is the trader competent when he is the one that made the mistake in the first place?
Well, that's what we're saying. We are not blaming Tibbs altogether. The front office has to take skin as well.
I'm blaming them all. I'm blaming them
Yeah.
all because number one, if you draft a player, then as the front office, I drafted Uncle Freezy. So I'm calling Kev and saying, Kev, I drafted Freezy, figure out how to use him. Now tell me if you can use him or if you can't. If you can't, we get rid of him and move on.
I'm telling my agent, no, I don't want to go there.
Well,
if I'm Obi and I'm in the draft,
no.
Yeah, it does. It happens. That's how Tyrese Halliburton got to Sacramento.
Okay, I understand that, but you have to have skin in the game.
That's false. I think Uncle Freeze.
No,
I think that's false.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna pull up the article. So, Kev, if that's false, like what you said, you owe me a Venom number 1.
Venom number 1.
A Venom number 1. Yep.
Wow.
That's how Amazon is. That's fine. That's fine. Blu-ray, right?
Wow.
No, the comic book, bro.
He wanted the book.
Come on.
Wow.
Now you know I can't find that.
Look, you're gonna have to come out. First of all, you have to find it, and then you're gonna have to come out of pocket for it.
You think?
Yeah. I would say this to your argument, Freezy, to help my counterpart out. When you talk about people that are able to orchestrate their deals, where they're drafted at, who they'll play for, who they won't play for, that's an exception to the rule. Because normally, when NBA players are drafted, they go in where they go, even if you get drafted, knowing that you're about to get traded to somebody else. All that's understood.
I'm just furnishing some proof, Kev. I'm just furnishing some proof.
Okay.
So I expect. There's your proof right here. There's the article and the link. Right. That's just one. I can pull up several more and put them on the screen if you want me to.
Send it to me.
No. How about you send me that Venom number 1? How about you send me that Venom number 1?
I'll go to my 2 comic book places, but I guarantee you, even if they do have it,
I guess my question here is, how does this Halliburton deal equate to Obi Toppin? Because
did you see this thing right? You see this part right here where Dallas was trying to trade up in the draft to get him?
Yeah.
Just read the article. There it
I
is right
can't really read it because I got my phone. I'm talking on my phone, so I can't really, see everything. Exactly. And the screen is too small, so I can't really see what's going on. But I will look at that.
Okay.
I will look at that.
I would say this, Freezy. I would say that there is no way possible in the Knicks universe that the Knicks would have pursued an Obi Toppin if they believed in Julius Randle. That pick would have never happened. Because we got to remember the position and the performance of Julius Randle.
Randle was supposed to be out the door. Randle was supposed to be out the door.
Yeah. So when you go out and get an Obi Toppin, he is supposed to be Julius Randle's replacement. Did we see Julius having the performance that he had last year? Absolutely, positively not.
But G-Man, and that also goes to show you how inept your front office is.
Right. Well, we're saying that too.
No,
We're saying
no, stop, no.
Kev.
No.
Last year, did you not need a point guard, Kev?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right.
In the worst way.
Right. And your power forward was your best player last year, right? Going into last season. Julius Randle averaged 20 and 10 going into the season. And the Knicks front office, instead of saying, yo, let's get a point guard because we hadn't had one since we hadn't had one stay here since Clyde Frazier. Let's go get another power forward. Right? But that's like when you eating dinner, they're like, yo, Mr. Cornerstone Kev, aka Star Child, aka Shazam, aka that dude that played the guitar on the internet. I understand that you starving and you hungry. Let's bring you another glass of water.
No.
Wait, so are you saying you're all right? So you're obviously saying that we should have gotten a point guard in Obi's draft. That's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm saying we should have got a point guard in Obi's spot.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We should have had a point guard.
Because we drafted quickly. We drafted quickly, remember? In Obi's draft.
But we drafted Obi first.
Right. So in Obi's spot is what I'm saying. I just want to clarify.
That's what I'm saying too. We should have, like, Cole Anthony would have looked great in this.
Yes.
Halbert would have looked great.
Yes.
Sweet Jesus.
Yes. You could have had both. You could have had Halliburton and Cole Anthony right now.
Wow. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so when y'all stop telling fairy tales, let me know when you're done.
I'm done. I'm done. Don't get it twisted. Wait. But don't get it twisted. I'm happy with Obi. That we got him. I'm going to support him. No matter what. But in retrospect, we needed a point guard.
Okay.
Right.
We needed.
And you needed one for how long? How long did you need a point guard, Ken?
Shoot.
Years.
You still need one right now, right?
We need one today.
So
we talking about 30 years.
So when G-Man said fallacy, it can't be a fallacy if we knew we needed a point guard and then we drafted a backup to our best player.
Oh yeah, it could. Because what happened?
But in not retrospect, but on the premise, we didn't know that Randall was going to be what he is. He was supposed to be on his way out the door.
You didn't know he was going to be 20 and 10. He was the year before.
But everybody wanted him out of here. Everybody really wanted him out.
Not everybody.
Majority did.
A 24-year-old power forward that put up 20 and 10. You want to get him out of here.
I did.
Yeah.
Once we got Obi, my mindset was, okay, we're going to use Obi in Julius's place. That was my mindset right there.
And who was going to be your point guard last year?
Am I right, G-Man?
Yeah, I mean that was the mindset of the front office.
So in y'all mindset, y'all would prefer the Elfrid Payton Obi Toppin connection.
No, so Freezy. So here we go. So understand this, right?
You can't have one. You can't have G-Man. You can't have both sides of the argument. It's not how it works, bro.
Listen, I'm not trying to get both sides of it. I'm gonna give you one side, and that's gonna be it. So here we go. We have always needed a point guard, but for whatever reason, those people in power wanted to protect their investment and their job because somebody made the decision to go out and trade with the New Orleans Pelicans to bring Julius Randle to the New York Knicks. Somebody made that move. True
that was Steve Mills.
Then, if Julius Randle comes in here and fails to produce at the level that we expect for him to produce at, in order to cover that up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and draft his replacement. Hence, Obi Toppin. Now, I'm going to tell you how that takes precedence over the point guard that we've needed for 20 plus years, almost 30 years now. That's somebody protecting their job, protecting their investment, protecting their reputation. That's what we're talking about right now. I don't care if Obi never plays another minute in the NBA for the New York Knicks. That's how he came to be here in this organization. A mistake was made when you went out and brought Julius Randle in here.
Case
He
closed.
did not produce in the method that you thought he would produce for you. And that was a conversation. And I'm going to tell you how I know it was a conversation, because hence you draft Obi Toppin at number 8. Well, you know you need a point guard. You know you need a point guard.
Can't read this.
Why are you drafting Obi? Why? For what?
I can't read it. What does it say down here? I can't read it.
Stop making excuses for the front office by supplying another scapegoat. That's what it's saying.
I'm giving the front office. I'm giving the front office just as much heat as I'm giving Tibbs.
I'm explaining to you how we got to where we are today.
Right.
I'm not making excuses for anybody. I'm explaining to you how we went from point A to point B to point C to point D, and we got what we got right now. And people are still trying to cover up for the malpractice that happened in both the front office and the coaching staff. And then when people tell me and look me in my face and say, Tibbs hasn't lost the locker room right now. Really?
What? The Tibbs also, but G-Man, what does that have to do with
all that? All that is important, because this is where we start. Number one.
But you was just talking about, so we were just talking about 2020, and you brought up Tibbs losing the locker room in 2022. We talking about the Obi Toppin draft.
I brought you from the past into the present because I want you to understand how we got to where we are today. That was the whole reason of that soliloquy that I went down. That whole diatribe that just went down.
Kev, how does R2D2 move on sand when he's a wheel-based robot, bro?
Oh my God!
He's a wheel-based robot, right? Have you ever seen Star Wars, bro? Kev, have you ever seen Star Wars, man? How does R2D2, a wheel-based robot, follow C-3PO on sand, bro?
That is a great question. At least I don't know how in Star Wars, when Return of the Jedi, he did have like a smooth road to go to Jabba's palace. You are right. I don't know how that started in Star Wars. You remember all the dunes? Remember all the dunes in the beginning of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes my wet dry vac can't. I have a trouble pulling it across the grass. You know what I'm saying? But R2D2 got wheels like on a mop bucket. Yet he is just moving on sand. Maybe it's a different world. I guess
it's the Force.
I need an alcoholic drink, man. I need an alcoholic drink.
I just can't figure it out.
It's the Force. I'm telling you what it is. It's the Force. Some things, unless you believe, some things cannot be explained. It's the Force for you.
Yeah, because Stevie Wonder said, if you believe in things you can't understand,
wait a minute. How does the droid have the Force, man?
Right. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you how. Who did the droid belong to?
Nobody.
Yes, he did. Who was the droid's master?
Yeah.
Think about it. Who was the droid's master?
Obi-Wan.
I mean, if you want to be real, it was really Princess Amidala's, Senator Amidala's droid, and then it got.
She sent it with a message. She had a message embedded in it.
That was Princess Leia, not Amidala.
No.
Stop playing. Oh my God, what are y'all talking about?
And then it was her daughter's Princess Leia's droid.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay, so back to the message at hand. I'm gonna say this. I guess I'm gonna ask a question at this point. Where do you?
I'll ask you. Here's a real question. Here's a real question. Is Uncle Freezy really Doctor Strange?
No,
because we are because we're in his multiverse of madness.
He's not. He's not. He's not. Hey, but
Right.
he gives a great impression of Doctor Strange. I will ask
No,
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
more like Reed Richards.
yeah, you are.
No,
You are.
So I'm more like
It's
Reed,
a gift of her.
and it's
You are
not, and
not.
it,
You are not Mr. Fantastic. You are not Dr.
Right.
Xavier, Professor Xavier. You're neither one of those two.
no. So Kev, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'm more like Reed Richards, because I spend too much time on something that don't reward me back.
Yeah.
You ever those with the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah.
Reed Richards at? Always in his lab, always working, and his
Always.
fine
Yeah.
wife walking around
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he, you know what I'm saying? So that's what the comparison that
Somebody said, you are not Reed Richards.
yeah.
Hey, but
Reed
check
Richards.
this out. Check this out.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Go ahead.
boys and girls, children, Knicks fans of all ages, right? I would say this. What Knicks fans have to do right now is to come to a place that you're comfortable with what you see in this team, what the output of this team has been up to this point. We are at the All-Star break right now. Coming out of the break, there are, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, I think 23, 24 games left after the break. Before we
Don't
get
know,
to the
don't care. Don't know, don't care, because I canceled my subscription with Fubu, so doesn't matter.
So, okay. So I'll say all that to say this. At the All-Star break, my expectations from this organization is to sit down and have a legit conversation about the status of this franchise and make it better. If we can't do that, we have a problem. I'm not telling you if I could tell you, but I'm not going to insinuate where these efforts need to be where the efforts need to be put into. But yes, I am. So the front office needs to be addressed. The coaching staff needs to be addressed. And these people that we're paying all this money to that are not progressing or producing night in, night out, that also needs to be addressed. Now, all that is not going to be addressed, but give me one of those three.
But so G-Man, how we wrong? So how we disagree? So when I say it, I'm wrong, but when you say it, it's right.
No,
and it's the same thing.
No. Okay, so I guess delivery is important.
You're letting Tibbs. You know what he's doing? You're letting Tibbs off the hook. That's what you're doing.
No,
You're letting
who?
Tibbs off.
Who?
No, not you. Him.
Oh.
Him.
No, I'm not letting
He's
Tibbs.
letting
I'm not
Tibbs off
letting
the hook.
Kev. No, I'm not.
You're
What I'm saying.
What you're saying our anger should not be towards Tibbs, but our young players management. There's somebody in the middle.
I would say this, Freezy. To answer your question, I believe that on the surface, people may feel like we don't agree, but once you peel those layers back and get down to the root cause of what we're talking about the same thing. The delivery is just different. That's what I believe.
Right. So, yeah, because what I'm saying is like, okay. So what it sounds like to Knicks fans who are emotional is that I hate Obi.
No,
right?
you don't. You don't.
Right. When I have been saying clearly that I dislike the fact that our top 8 pick does not contribute to winning on a nightly basis.
I can go with that. I can go with that.
Right. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Now, but to Obi fans, they're like, Uncle Freezy, but he dunked in Charlotte and the crowd went crazy. Yeah, we lost that game, and a dunk is worth 2 points.
He is in the dunking contest.
and Kev, and think about this. Oh, and what if Obi Toppin wins the dunk contest? Does that get us a championship?
Nope.
No.
But it gives Obi his recognition. So I understand where you are, what you're talking about, Freezy. But I would say this, right? I would say if Uncle Freezy was the head coach of the New York Knicks, and you had that same
Yeah, the
commentary,
same roster.
it would be a little bit. I would
Different.
have more. No, it would be different, but I would
We
put
have more wins. We have more wins.
on what you're talking about, right? But
We have more wins if Freezy was coaching.
You, me, and Kev are in the same spot right now, just in different spots in the country, right? I'm way down south. Freezy's down south.
Don't rub it in now. Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in.
I say all that to say this. When things work perfect, we look great, right? When you give Mitchell Robinson the opportunity to get a double-double in a game, and Julius Randle has a triple-double, and we win a game that nobody expected for us to win, we become delusional Knicks fans off the bat. We forget how we got here, but this particular game, everything just worked out, and the opposing team just had a bad night, and we were able to be victorious. And then the next game that we play, you come into you're back at home, you're hovering, you're sleeping in your own bed. Your chef is fixing you your favorite meals. You get to kiss your kids and your wife goodbye before you go to the stadium to play the game, and you suck against people half your age that have nothing to lose.
I like that.
I'm just saying that's what happened. You at home sleeping in your bed, spending time with your family, and somebody says go to work, and you can't complete the process. What are we talking about right now?
Right.
What are we? But
right.
this is the thing, Kev. This is what bothers me so much about these arguments. Every time we go into a game, the lineup is always the same. Every time, regardless of who we playing.
Some people like structure, bro.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this. I agree with structure. I'm a structured person myself, right? But how can you keep running up against the same brick wall with your head without a helmet and your forehead is bleeding and you expect to get a different outcome? That's insanity, bro.
But no,
that's what that is.
But G-Man, it's not. Okay. So what I'm saying to you about this, the players and minutes, is there is a difference between a rotation and substitutions.
Right.
It's a difference.
I agree.
It's a difference.
Yes.
Right? Now, if we Monday morning quarterback his substitutions, like, hey, they went small right here, Tibbs. Why didn't you go small to match them? Then I can understand where you're coming from. But to say I don't like him because he's structured and regimented is something that I really can't. Like with me, I like standards. I like order, right? I like things to be a certain way. Now, but here's the thing. You always have to leave room to make adjustments, right? So I would be with you if you said, well, he comes out with a certain structure and then he makes, adjustments along the way and they don't work. And then I would be okay with that.
He makes no adjustments for you.
But the argument was not about adjustments. That's why I wanted to add it to clarify. The argument was about rotation.
Okay, so no, the argument was about the starting lineup. I never got into the rotational piece. I just said that when Tibbs comes out and we start a game, we see the same starting five every game unless someone is injured or hurt and can't play. Then you insert a Grimes or a Burks or whomever we insert into these positions. That's the only difference that we have seen. Minus one game. I can't remember what game it was that he just went off the rails and did something different. What I'm telling you is this. I don't have to look at Twitter anytime to figure out what the starting lineup for the New York Knicks is. I already know what it is.
Right.
I know exactly what it's going to be. The problem is when the opponents that we face to your point, Freezy, when you talk about the difference between rotation and substitution, when you feel like you're getting ran out of the gym by young people, right? You can't wait for your rotational clock to come up because he's sitting there with his 5x7 card saying, at this time, I'm going to substitute this person. You have to make a substitution. You can't rely on your minutes clock or whatever to put people in the game. That's what head coaches do. You analyze what's going on the court, who is effective, who's not, and then be able to match up against your opponent.
But G-Man, again, we don't disagree with that. That's called an adjustment. You and I agree.
Yeah.
We agree on that. So the thing, Kev, I'm sorry about cutting you off, bro.
No. What I was gonna say was they also listen to their assistants as well. He don't listen to his assistants at all. He don't.
Okay.
Kenny Payne and Johnny Bryant and all those other guys, they don't have no voices on there.
So how did what you said just now apply to the adjustments? You're saying that these assistant coaches see and suggest listen to my question.
Okay.
Kev, listen to my question. Are you saying that the assistants see the game in a different way and make suggestions to Tibbs, and Tibbs just ignores them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because the way you said it the first time, I was like, what are you talking about? It's like me and G-Man were having a separate conversation from Kev. You know what I'm saying? But if that's where you're going, then it makes sense to what G-Man was saying. You know what I mean? And not being critical of your thought, because I think the thought it was spot on. Because if these assistants see the game and suggest these adjustments that G-Man see, and they go tell coach, and coach don't make the adjustments, then that's on the coach.
Right.
And if the ship go down, he got to go down with the ship.
Right.
That I think, and to your point, Freaky, to be fair, right? So I don't want anybody to think for 1 second that I'm a one way thinker. I kind of like to sit on high and establish and evaluate everything that's going on. So I'm not telling you right now. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure that Tibbs doesn't have somebody in his earpiece saying, this is what you need to do. I'm not saying that's not happening, right? If it is, it's sad, but hey, that's the profession you chose. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, my evaluation comes from the product that I see on the floor. The opportunity for adjustments and substitutions to be made, but we don't do that.
Right.
When we come into a game to where the Thunder game, I don't understand. And I've been watching basketball and playing basketball for a lot of years.
Since the 50s.
How is it feasible for you as the head coach to call a play before we are subjected to overtime? Your idea is to get the ball to Emmanuel quickly on an inbounds play and have him shoot the three when he hadn't made a three all game.
But wasn't that a good look though? He did get a good look though, right?
He did, Freezy. He did.
Kev, that was a good look, right?
Okay. So in any other establishment in the world, if you at work and you told Kev to go out and buy this product and he brought it back and you tried to resell it and nobody bought it, guess where you will be right now? You'll be in the soup kitchen trying to get you some better. You would hope that the soup that you eat had meat in it. I'm telling you right now.
But I'm not eating soup, bro. I'm eating cucumbers. See?
I hope that you got I hope that's vinegar, salt and pepper with some red pepper in there. I hope that's what it is.
Of course.
Okay. Well, hey, can I get some? Can you send me some of that?
Hey, but G-Man, let me do this real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
And I'm not trying to take over. I just want to prove
Go ahead.
a certain point. All right. So in 1995-96, the Los Angeles Lakers had a coach that wouldn't make adjustments, right? They won 53 games.
They had talent.
Right. No, they had young talent.
Okay. But talent.
And here is their young core. Corey Blunt.
Yep.
Eddie Jones.
Yep.
George Lynch.
Yep.
Anthony Miller. Anthony Peeler.
Yeah.
Nick Van Exel.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And people were saying, man, that young core is going to be good. That's the future of the franchise, right?
It turned out to be.
And at the end of that season, they messed around and got the 13th pick in the NBA draft. Right? They acquired it from
Charlotte,
and traded Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant.
Yep, they did that.
And then once Kobe got there, they looked at the rest of the young core and was like, yeah, this ain't no young core. Kobe is the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kev, am I lying? Kev, am I lying? Think about the names the names that I just said. I named you their young core. Because this is the scenario we're in. We have Miles McBride, Jericho Sims.
Crazy. My question to you is,
but here's the problem with what he just said. Where those guys got playing time, these guys are not.
No, that's not the problem, Kev. That's not the problem. The problem is here. Who was the person to make the evaluation on who the young talent would be for the Lakers? Who was that?
Jerry West.
Okay, so think about what you just said.
Sure it wasn't
the acumen of a Jerry West based upon who we have in our organization right now. That's not
Kev, he about to make my point for me, Kev. Kev, he
Stop
about to make my point for me.
Stop playing.
So you're saying that our front office does not have a Jerry West?
No, we don't.
No, hell no.
So G-Man, so you just made my point. You agree with me, but you do so begrudgingly because the Knicks are losing.
Listen.
Does this front office have the talent of a Jerry West?
No.
Right. So G-Man, what I'm telling you is that in that scenario, you never blamed the head coach. You did not. No. You didn't bring up the head coach one time. You went immediately to the front office and said Jerry West.
Do you know why? I'm going to tell you why that happened. Because the front office had dominion over the coaching staff. So when I tell you I'm bringing the Kobe Bean Bryant in here, I expect him to play X amount of minutes. And if you don't do what I tell you to do, guess what? You're going to be in the soup kitchen looking for a job. We don't have that today. That is not the New York Knicks organization. What we do is we want to predicate our season on whoever's playing well from game to game. That doesn't work. That's no plan. That's no plan. This is why Tom Thibodeau is still employed today, because the ineptitude of our front office cannot dictate what these people need to do moving. Man, look, I could talk about this all night. I'm not going to bore the fans.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it all night. Let's go.
Freezy, listen. I'm going to tell you this, brother. I'm going to tell you this right here. And I've always talked about this. And if for those of you that's tuning in, first of all, thank you for coming out. God bless you. Please hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. And I know, I how can I put this? I apologize for you having to look at Cornerstone Kev on a nightly basis, but there's not.
Kev, do you want Kobe Bryant, Eddie Jones, and Anthony Peeler? Would you prefer Kobe Bryant or Eddie Jones and Anthony Peeler?
What?
Oh, Kobe.
Kev, answer me honestly. Would you prefer Kobe Bryant or Eddie Jones, Anthony Peeler, Nick Van Exel?
Oh my God.
Kobe.
Right. So you said Kobe, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the point that I'm getting at. Now, when after the Lakers got Kobe, you think they look back at Anthony Peeler or Quentin Grimes and was like, "Yo,
Stop.
this dude's the franchise."
Stop this, man.
I think Taylor went to Minnesota. I think Dan Axel went to Dallas. And Eddie Jones, I don't know where I think he was the longest Laker tenure.
Miami.
You went to Miami. Okay.
Miami.
No, stop this madness right now. Because I'm gonna tell you where this argument is flawed at.
Because G-Man is looking at our Corey Blunt and blaming the coach. He's looking at the dude wearing number 1 for the Knicks right now, our Corey Blunt, and it's like he just need more minutes. No,
these guys were drafted. They were drafted. We drafted these guys, right? But this is the thing you need to understand. When you say Kobe being Bryant, people don't remember when Kobe came into the league. They don't reflect back that far. They absolutely have no idea the struggles that Kobe Bryant went through to establish himself
before Shaq got there.
Right, and the other thing too, Kev, is Kobe Bryant wasn't the number 1 pick in the draft.
I'll be back.
Allen Iverson was the number 1 pick in that draft.
That's right.
You feel me? So it's
right.
It's not even about where you pick the guy. It's if you nail the draft pick, if you get the draft pick right, that's what matters, right?
Golden State got it right.
And the Knicks historically don't.
We only got it once.
Right.
Once.
Right. And in that scenario, it was a can't lose.
I'll give Mark Jackson a 1A. I'll give Mark Jackson a 1A. But first time we got it right was with Patrick Ewing. And Patrick Ewing got us to a game 7 of the NBA championship.
Yep. So, Kev, what I'm saying is when we look at our young core, just because it's ours don't mean it's the best.
No,
yeah,
I'm not
that's
saying
what I'm getting at.
No. I'm with you on that.
Because some people are like, yo, nah, I ain't putting Quentin Grimes in no deal. Quentin Grimes is such and such. Really? You don't want to put Quentin Grimes in a Donovan Mitchell deal?
You know what it is, Free? They're afraid that the trades, when we trade these guys, that it's going to backfire on them.
Right.
It's a risk.
Right.
It's a risk.
But
at least we have the mantra to say that we do have young players. Because before we did not.
To us, because before all we had was vets.
Right. And we always traded off our draft picks.
And young players.
Yep.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying to Knicks fans is just because Miles McBride is on the Knicks roster doesn't mean Miles McBride is going to be a top 10 point guard in the NBA.
Let me ask you a question. All those players we traded for Carmelo Anthony, would you have done that?
Yes. Yep. If I could do the Carmelo Anthony trade all over again, would I do it? Yes.
Yeah.
Because think about how many Hall of Famers did Denver get out of that trade?
None.
Right.
Even though I won't call him a Hall of Famer, but did they get oh God, who's the point guard for them that's on injured reserve right now that tore his Achilles last year?
Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Jamal Murray. Yeah.
No, they didn't get Jamal Murray in that trade.
But they got the pick.
They got the pick, yeah, but the pick wound up being somebody else.
Okay, never mind. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sir. I got to get off, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I have some cucumbers to eat.
You have some cucumbers to eat. Is the gray-haired weasel still back? Still over there?
To my Beowulf? I don't know. G-Man is like, y'all points are wrong. But no, we agree. We agree that Nick Van Exel is not Kobe Bryant.
Everyone has their opinions. I mean, going from your show to all the other ones, everybody has their opinions. Not everybody is right. I know everybody wants to think they're always, but they're not, and they're just opinions. They're just opinions.
Right. All right. So let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say let's do this then. Let's wrap up here, and then you know what I'm saying we'll hit up G-Man and you know whatever and let them know like you know we wrapped up and thank everybody for coming out.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Without you, there's no us. Without you, there's no us.
Yeah, thank y'all. Thank you. What's your catchphrase that you usually end on?
It's always on the one. That's
All
James
right.
Brown. It's always on the one. So let's get it done.
All right, y'all. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
We'll see you later. Peace out.